Let's see if they can work together to advance to the weekly final as they get into their first game, and we get into our second, powered by Zowie Perrier, and of course, Intel. Guys, it is time as we head to Erangel. Let's get it underway with Matrim and Pansy.
Thank you so much, and yes, just that reminder, this is of course presented by Intel, and it's a pleasure to be bringing you onto those grassy fields of Erangel, starting out towards the northwest, heading southeast. I'd say probably aside from anyone fancying a bit of Stalber or Kabeshki, this is a pretty decent little playing path. Everyone's going to have their bit of play. And of course, we have to consider we have another team thrown into the mix now, another one added through. Shoot to kill come into the lobby, and it's time to keep your eyes trained on what they can achieve from this. I'm not too sure myself, because already we've seen some big teams come out and put up some performances, and a lot of names waiting for their chance to prove themselves here.
The format is kind of interesting, especially if you're a team coming in from the bottom 16. You want to come in, you want to frag out, you want to prove the fact that you didn't belong down in the bottom 16 and qualify as fast as possible. But whenever you're looking at the winner chicken dinner system, it's not like that. You kind of need to pump the brakes, approach it very strategically, and be playing for, most notably, the late game. That's where you need to be doing all of your big plays at. So it's kind of interesting a lot of times that these teams will come in, be wanting to make a statement, but really have to just yank back on the reins and go, okay, let's slow it down. Let's make sure that we come in methodical, because by God, when you get a military base circle, we're going to be continuing rolling through. It's just kind of getting away with this right now, finally getting a little bit of damage come back over towards him. Keeps rolling through the hillside. Oh, yeah, we got you back? I didn't know. Okay.
It seems like it. I'm back for now. Who knows? As said, seems that chat's paying more attention than anyone else. Multi-Circle Gaming catching a little bit of a glimpse towards T1, getting the knock towards that. And this is just going to be a bloodbath. I mean, everyone's going to be piling in. There is not much safety. Ents have actually slid into a really strong position considering where they were. They actually in a really decent spot.
The west is where most of the teams are clustered at right now. Afrika Freaks and Infantry, the only ones that are kind of playing in that southeastern area. If the circle does shift back over there, that could be just a disaster for so many teams. But no, it goes back over towards Gen.G. T1's positioning, Ints as well, being rewarded with their very hectic push a second ago. Tig finding himself right now in a little bit of trouble. His Tab's just going to step back over, gets the knock onto him. H1, the last one up for his team, but you can see playing that outer wall, Na'Vi in a great gatekeeping position. So H1, not too much time left in this world right now as Meta's going for a reposition back a little bit closer towards the road leading up to Gen.G and playing this very, very strong dip.
It is a good dip. You are slightly in the shadow of Gen.G. Look over towards it, but that means that Gen.G have freedom to do so. Pio's going to hit the deck to try and remain slightly unspotted, but they're pretty open to this. You can see those nades just being sent down. Star-Lord living in towards the kind of Harry Potter in this. Sonics have gone down in the meantime. Losing life at this point is a bit of a disaster. 16th place. Oh, frustrating, I'm sure, for them, but now this is where the bloodbath begins. All those teams on the outskirts by that mini compound just kind of underneath Radio Tower towards the west. Look at the bodies scattered across the floor. Smash just trying to get through, but his teammates are bleeding out by the wayside. Code Marco and Mert currently knocked. They need to stabilize on this side, get day trade out of there, and they've done just that. Res is now available. They can get themselves back and ready to go.
Looks like Gen.G's PO did a little bit of an overpeak, and Meta quickly capitalized off of that one to make them a little bit more hesitant on leaning back that direction. You can see shift back over towards the west now. So trying to get a little bit more information onto this. We still have teams like Oath, Tienba, Zenith that are in a little bit of a struggle back over here towards the west. Tienba's trying to make their way up this hillside back over next to Oath, but could find themselves in a pincered position. Actually, Tienba's going to roll right next to Oath's positioning. Patcap's going for the spray back on one. Ints now looking back over towards Infantry. Teeksu does manage to find himself a nice little defense line for a little while, but it's a problem. Good shot coming out from Teeksu. Digger back over here on the other side of it, and Infantry down to one. Make that none. Infantry is out. Yeah, it's, again, still clustering around the Radio Tower hillside. Be very careful. Good peek back over towards that one. Instantly spins back towards DA. Spots out another one. This is a solid push coming out right now. DA's in a little bit of trouble. And it's just Na'Vi with full-on aggression mode, just walking into the face of DA. No respect. They just know that they can win these firefights. DA finally gets one in retaliation. Looks back down towards him, trying to get as much damage as they can, but it's just hard right now. They can't seem to find the knocks. And Na'Vi is just dismantling them one by one.
Where's this Na'Vi been? Where's the aggressive Na'Vi been this whole time? Well, they're mostly dead. Metralius is going to try and continue that narrative. A 7 HP orange on the other side is not looking so hot. Does have meds, but you can see the pressure. Oh dear, this could be it. Orange, you got to be careful, bud. Yeah, bye-bye. Metralius even gets the flush for it too. Did manage to get, smash for him, so not only does he, eventually go down, but he does ruin DA's chances at the same time.
Meanwhile, Team Liquid shoot to kill at a vying position back over towards the northeast. Liquid's got to be a little bit careful with this one, as there are a couple of teams that might opt into third party back behind them. Pretty Curdy looking back, trying to make a play along the hillside. Abyss is already down for Team Liquid, and wouldn't be surprised if we see the flush come out back over here. Just a second. It's going to be Mexi back over towards the top that doesn't want to peek this one just quite yet. And that's going to be most notably due to the other amount of teams that are around this positioning. It's just a little bit hazardous for Team Liquid. As you can see, they do have a hill behind them on one angle, but that's going to make it a little bit more problematic, as Ince does have a touch of vision back over here, and it's kind of making it a defining line with a very close shooting position upon position next to each other. And Zenith looking now back over towards Multi-Circle Gaming.
Yeah, they're going to have to lock this one down. Multi-Circle Gaming, though, they've spotted one of them, but there's a whole pack working their way up. Excellent nade from Poonage, going to find Lingdu almost for free, but look at this slow creep coming in. Did they note this? It looks like Kickstart has become abundantly aware of the problems further ahead, how close they are. He's surely seen them now. Can he capitalize on this, though? Can he maybe make something out of this? Trying to keep his head down, maybe look for some support coming out. Evil Lee going for the res is pretty bold at this point.
I'm just curious to see how they're going to play this one through. Ince now just putting in work into the backside of Team Liquid. Tiemba is eliminated, and that is a ballsy res right there. Glib, if he just peeks over the hillside, should be able to just get both of them, but no, looks back over towards the left instead. And I cannot believe that we saw them try to get away with that one. Shoot the kill, no hesitation coming up off that one. Finally going to take down Team Liquid, and that means that they should be able to get the res back over towards Purdy, but it's going to be Multi-Circle Gaming having to get a little bit of distance away from Zenith's positioning, now being forced back over towards Shoot to Kill. I love the sneaky reposition coming out from Multi-Circle Gaming. Grenades are now landing back over next to Pentalol. Luke 12 goes for a spray back through the smokes. Does manage to connect with Tank, take him down. We were talking about how strong Tank is, and is such a component coming up from Multi-Circle Gaming. Him going down is a huge problem. Summer now dropped as well. Lingdu creeping back over. Looks like he's going to commit to the res back over towards Tank. Not going to see anybody come through, but Evil Lee goes for the spray back over towards Purdy. Good connection onto it, and Purdy's gone down multiple times. That's going to be a very quick down for him, but Shoot the Kill is going to come up on top at the end of it and finally take down Multi-Circle Gaming.
Fantastic work from Shoot to Kill. This is their first game in the lobby, and they've come out swinging. Brilliant performance thus far. Freak of Freaks, though, still pretty dangerous here. They've got plenty of players still standing. Ents do go down.
So with this, Kickstart's going to be the perpetual thorn in T1 side, as we've got just a lot of weakened teams back over towards the northwest. Kickstart being the last member up for Zenith, 2 members for T1, last member for DA and Metriolis, and then it's going to be just to the south of the Meta Gaming in their positioning. Kickstart's going to try to roll through, but that's a lot of blue damage to start that one out, and Adder, that's about the freest kill you're ever going to find. There is that little bit of a ridge that they can maybe make. Sparking tries to get the shots, but not going to connect with him. Luke 12, this should be a pretty easy grenade toss. Going to bounce a little bit too far. So with that, the spin just doesn't go in his favor. Going to go ahead and give that one another try. That one lands a lot more accurately there. So that's going to go ahead and connect over towards Star-Lord, leaving just one member up. Adder is going to have to fight himself against all of Shoot to Kill that is still up and active. There's nowhere to go, but guess what? We're starting to see a little bit more control come back over towards Shoot to Kill. The question comes into play. What is DA? What's Meta going to do? Meta says, hey, we know where a firefight's at, and we're just going to roll in full on gusto. They just jump out, start going for the sprays into it, and that's already one member of Shoot to Kill down.
But look at the damage that he caused. They are weak. Meta not looking so pretty, but Shoot to Kill still staying alive with at least one. They still need to stabilize. You can see Sparking here, but you can see Penta trying to find him, but no, the time. He couldn't quite find him in time, and Meta just leapfrog into position. A Freak of Freaks now become the kings of this lobby, full standing, good positioning on the circle. Unless Oath can somehow maybe get pack caps back up or a couple of knocks. This looks like a good Korean team finding an early win here, something that was evading them in the early parts of this tournament.
I mean, they have so much control, and everybody, all the other teams are just doing all their work for them right now. Oath trying to commit to that res, but it's going to be very hard. Pat Caps just kind of jumps himself back into the zone, and maybe they're going to try to commit back over here for it again. But with everything going on, there's just a very damaged chain resing Oath that is drawing a lot of a Freak of Freaks attention. that is opening up a little bit more movement from meta towards the north, and maybe they can find some way to make this work. But don't forget about a boy, Trellis, that's back over there and can do some damage really into the backside of meta, depending on how this is playing. But Oath just can't get a member up, man. Every single time they rest somebody goes down, then they commit back over towards the res yet again, and it's just a COD. He's just getting frustrated. You can see just spraying into the smoke, and it's like, why won't they die?
Okay, who do we have left in this one? As it stands, it's a Freak of Freaks just tearing this lobby up. They've been doing damage, barely converting kills, but Oath fall to the wayside, and we're down to just 2 players standing against basically a Freak of Freaks in fine form. Now, this is going to need something special from Meta's remainder or DA's.
Sparking has a lot of clutch potential whenever it comes into these late game fights. Montreal's still back behind him. A Freak of Freaks trying to make a move back over towards the safe zone, but Sparking is trying to solo gatekeep out 2 different members. Repositioning into this, making this play right along the southern point of the circle. Remember, he started back over towards the north and just pushed back over into here. This is confidence coming out from Sparking right now. He feels like he has the opportunity and he has the play, and he is trying to capitalize off of it. Meanwhile, a Freak of Freaks trying to lean into their numbers right now, trying to stay in safety together, hoping the fact that they can go with a double peek back towards position. Sparking now finding himself in a lot of trouble. Does get the spray coming back over towards him on no life. Has to retreat from this position. 2 members of a Freak of Freaks trying to make the play back over towards him. No retreat, he's behind, but it's going to be EJ that connects into it. And then it's just Vitriolus, the last one up. Digital Athletics.
Vest broken, helmet not looking so hot. DA, look, any other day of the week, I'd say potentially. Oh my god, he's got EJ. Hold on. There's a chance in this match room. It's a 1v1 now.
Opportunity popping off for him. He's been so patient. We've seen him play from such difficult positions, holding it together for his team right now. It all comes down to the chicken dinner. Who's going to qualify? Who's going to move on to the weekly qualifiers? And you can see it's going to be a COD going for the peek off to one side, takes a chunk of damage. Mitrialis is playing this so patiently at the time. Keep in mind, Akkad is close to the blue zone, so whenever it starts to close in back behind him, he's going to have to move for us. Mitrialis, who's had everything working against him, finally might have the opportunity to take this one.
He's got barely any bullets to work with, Matchroom. He's down to 8 bullets here. That's all he's got. 7, 6. If Akkad just plays this out, Mitrialis is going to have no ammo to work with, at least with the mini. He'll have to switch out to that barrel.
Ooh, makes the switch back over, spots out, goes for the spray, connects with him as he jumps over towards it, and Digital Athletics gets this somehow. Some way the clutch comes through in the end.
Unreal.
All my life I want money and power, respect my mind, no die from last shout. I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck my world for 72 hours. Goddamn, I feel amazing. Damn, I'm in the matrix.